It's getting hot in here.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Now that Orange Man is in, the UAW is in a very, very peculiar situation, because on one hand, you had Trump who's saying he can do all this stuff to these companies that are moving jobs overseas. And then on the other hand, you have the UAW's President Shawn Fain running his mouth, talking about Trump every chance he get. In this video, I want to talk about this particular situation that the UAW president has put the UAW workers in, and what I think might happen in this particular case. Will the UAW president's words sink the UAW, or will Orange Man save the average workers' jobs? It's that time of year again where you need to save as much money as you can to buy the gifts for everyone else, and including yourself. So my friends at Just Bolt-Ons and Drag Racing Wheels have you covered. In case you need anything like exhaust systems, sticky Mickeys, catch cans, tonneau covers, whatever, my friends at Just Bolt-Ons and Drag Racing Wheels have some of the best prices online. And with my promo code BUTTER that you use at checkout, you can save up to an additional 15% off on your next order. So check out my friends at Just Bolt-Ons, DragRacingWheels.com, where some of the best prices online just got a little bit better. So I'm over 36,000 friends, and the 61% of you guys not yet subscribed. This is a very, very, very interesting situation that the UAW is now in, because on one hand, Orange Man, which I'm not gonna say his name, but we all know who Orange Man is, because I know some people are very sensitive on this topic, and I've seen a lot of meltdowns on Twitter about people crying and having all these fits of rage that one particular person got put in office. But whoever you vote for, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. But we are where we are. But this is a very, very interesting situation for the UAW, because the UAW's President Shawn Fain has been running his mouth about Orange Man for the past several months. He's gone on CNN, MSNBC. He's gone to DNC. He's worn Trump as a scab shirt, which I don't really understand, because scab was supposed to be somebody who walks the picket line. So I just don't get it. And then he's talked about it to like news journals and all that stuff. He's talked to local news and stuff about Trump. Well, I said Orange Man name, but this guy Shawn Fain has had such a hard on for Trump that he's literally dropped the ball for everything else, right? Ever since the historic stand-up strike, the UAW has been losing membership numbers in the thousands ever since last year. And last time I checked, there is not a Trump in office right now when all these people got laid off, when Stellantis started all these games ever since that historic strike. Last I checked, the other person who's running against Trump was in office, and last time I checked, neither her or the current president did anything to Stellantis to tell them to stop moving jobs overseas and stop playing games with the UAW, even though Shawn Fain was on some kind of economic council with President Biden, and still all this crap still happened to the UAW members. So I'm just going to say Shawn Fain priority should have been in different places rather than trying to play identity politics. I just don't understand why these companies, especially companies who represent thousands of people, why they would go and endorse candidates that could help or hurt them if the candidate that they endorse does not win. And in this particular case, what Shawn Fain has done has put the UAW in a very, very interesting situation, because now Trump can be petty if he wants to and just say, you know what, I'm not gonna help Stellantis out. You know, y'all president made his bed. He kept running his mouth, so you got to live with your president's decisions. Or, you know, Trump could be like, well, you know what? I did make a promise that companies that move jobs overseas, I'm going to tariff them, and I'm going to give them an ultimatum. You either move your jobs back to the United States, or you're going to get tariffed, and that product that you make is not going to sell because it's going to be too expensive in this market. So if Trump doesn't help the UAW out, it won't necessarily be his fault for y'all president running his mouth. I'm just gonna say that I hope Shawn Fain over the next week or two makes a call to Trump for him to go fix the nonsense going on with Stellantis, because the stuff with Stellantis has been going on since last year. And honestly, Shawn Fain should have been concentrating on that rather than running his mouth on national TV about a president, rather than running his mouth about his workers losing jobs. That right there is a situation where he's going to have to go and talk to Trump in order for Trump to stop Stellantis, particularly Stellantis, from moving jobs out of the country or overseas. Because ever since last year, the historic stand-up strike, Stellantis has discussed in the background moving to Durango to Canada. He's already discussed moving overflow trucks. Well, Stellantis had discussed moving overflow trucks down to Mexico, which is only for, like I said, only for overflow. Even though there's plants inside the United States where they could have moved overflow production of the Ram 1500, right? I'm gonna definitely do another video about this, but it's like idiotic to me to think that Warren truck is sitting there and the only thing they make right now is basically the Wagoneer and the Grand Wagoneer, which is two of the worst selling SUVs that's been literally in the bottom 10 since last year. That's like one of the worst selling SUV duos since last year. Is literally only 15 minutes from Shap, where they make the regular Ram 1500. And Stellantis overlooks them to make overflow production instead of want to move it down to Mexico. So Stellantis rather set up either suppliers shipping all their products to Mexico for overflow, or set up new vendors in Mexico to supply parts for the Ram 1500 production to ship it back into the United States. That's Stellantis. That's the games they're playing. They rather go ship the Ram 1500 production to Mexico, ship the Durango to Canada, rather than either using Belvedere to go make a product in Belvedere. Now they're talking about, where they're going to delay Belvedere until later on in the contract at the very, very tail end of it. And that's another plant sitting really unutilized. They got pretty much JNAP sitting there really only making the Durango and a couple Grand Cherokees, which at certain times of the year, the Grand Cherokee was on the worst selling SUV list. They got people laid off at Toledo. Instead of making the Jeep Recon over in Toledo, where the Wrangler and the Gladiator is having problems, they're going to make the Jeep Recon up in Brampton, where they used to make the Challenger and Charger. So Stellantis has done all this stuff to make sure that the UAW is getting less product. They're introducing brand new product in other locations outside of the UAW's control and outside of the continental United States. This is where I'm saying that Shawn Fain better go and kiss some butt cheeks in order to get things back on track, because the way he's going now, just looking in a vacuum, the UAW is going to be very, very serious trouble. There's really nothing else he can do rather than go and beg the one person he kept running his mouth out about on national TV, to journalists, to on the DNC wearing Trump is a scab, blah, blah, blah shirts. He got to go beg the one person he was talking smack to the entire time. He already was talking smack about Carlos Tavares and all this other nonsense, which, like I said, I don't understand how you talk smack to the people that you're begging jobs for. I mean, maybe you can be a little bit nicer and crap in your demands and keep pushing for your demands. Because, I mean, last time I checked, Unifor didn't do that crap. Unifor got increases in their contract, and Unifor is getting rewarded new product. That's what Unifor did. So I'm just saying that maybe the next time the UAW is going to vote in a president, maybe you guys want to vote in a new president who's not going to put himself over you guys. Because last time I checked, I don't remember the previous UAW presidents running their mouth about presidents nonstop over and over and over again while the workers are losing their jobs. And Shawn Fain, according to some of these other automotive journalists that I've seen videos on, this dude's collecting $200,000-$300,000 a daggone year from multiple salaries within the UAW. And this guy want to go on live streams talking about eat the rich and all this other nonsense.
How come Shawn Fain isn't living on $500 a week? Isn't it time for Shawn Fain to share the pain? Whatever happened to Solidarity Forever? These are publicly available documents. You can go look this up too. That last year, Shawn Fain also collected $187,259 as the treasurer of the training center. That's right, he collected two salaries, one as an administrative assistant within the union, another as a treasurer of the UAW Chrysler Training Center. So that means last year, Shawn Fain earned $347,389. It's a pretty good salary for a guy who claims to represent the working class. Shows that Ray Curry, the former president of the union, made $267,127,000 as president. Now that Shawn Fain is president, I'm assuming he's making the same amount of money that the last president did. If Fain is still drawing a salary from the Chrysler UAW Training Center as treasurer, and he's also drawing a salary as president of the UAW, that means he's going to make about $454,000 this year.
There was better ways to go through and get the contract done. There was better ways to go and treat this whole election nonsense. There was better ways to do it, and this guy didn't do it neither time, and it can cause a lot of UAW guys a lot of problems. Now, I got a lot of friends who work in the UAW. I know a lot of you guys are happy that Trump won. I know a lot of guys who, well, I mean, I've seen some of the forum posts that some of these UAW workers have made, and they are unhappy that Trump won. Regardless of where you lay in that spectrum, your president should have went out and antagonized one group over another. He should have been having his head down and trying to go and work on a peaceful solution with Stellantis to bring product back to UAW workers. That's what he should have been focusing on. Like, I just don't understand what in the world is the whole point of him being on Biden's economic council, him begging politicians to go come to Detroit and take photos. And then once they took photos and flew out, now none of them have been heard from since. And none of them has helped you guys get your jobs back. It seems like every few weeks, more and more you guys are getting laid off. And that really pisses me off because, like I said, a lot of you guys are, I know some of you guys are my friends. A lot of you guys give me information and stuff. I've talked to a lot of you guys, especially like guys who's trying to figure out, and women, because there are some women I talk to as well within the UAW who are just fed up with the nonsense. They fed up with the conditions in the plant. They fed up with the crazy hours. They fed up with these crazy robocalls y'all be getting and stuff. With the 1 minute you're working, the next thing you know, you just sitting there waiting for freaking hours and crap. Fed up getting blamed for quality issues, even though, like I said, I know a lot of quality issues is because of the crap that Stellantis is doing. We're giving you guys cheap, crappy parts from crappy suppliers, and the blame is getting placed on you guys rather than Stellantis playing all these nonsense games with the suppliers, either not paying them, either going with crazy low budget suppliers, and that's leading to quality issues. These guys bringing in foreign workers to try to engineer crap and all this other nonsense. So trust me, I understand a lot of the pain that a lot of UAW's members are facing. But you guys, I hope the next time you guys elect a UAW president, you don't elect this guy again. Now, you gotta hope that he even calls Trump, because I was looking on Twitter and I still don't see any posts from the UAW congratulating Trump on winning. And you would think that would be a nice little icebreaker to congratulate the current president, who has said to other businesses, if those businesses move jobs out of the country and sacrifice American workers, he is going to tax that company. And I know people are starting to spread this nonsense that, oh, tariffs is going to make everything more expensive. Well, I mean, the last time I checked, Stellantis was not the only company that makes cars. So if Stellantis won't play this game with the UAW workers and move more of their jobs overseas, then Stellantis is going to win very big, expensive prizes, because it wasn't like it was already to the point to where these vehicles were already cheap. Stellantis was making a lot of profit. Stellantis is suffering right now. They can't afford Trump to even give them maybe a 10 to 20 to 30% tariff, because a lot of their vehicles have been on the worst selling vehicle list for the past several months. The Hornet is not selling. That's made overseas. Let's see, what else is not selling? HD trucks, they're not selling. That was on the worst 10 selling list a few times, right? So there's a lot of product that's coming into the country from Stellantis that Trump could affect and piss Stellantis off for them to stop playing these games with the UAW to bring jobs back. So I was talking about this on my live stream the other day. There's really only a handful of products made in the United States. You really only have the Durango currently, the Jeep Grand Cherokee, the Wrangler, the Gladiator. You have the Ram 1500 and the Wagoneer and the Grand Wagoneer. That's you really only have like 7 models here, right? But you have so many other models that's not even made in the US that Trump go after Stellantis for. You got literally all the Alfa Romeo vehicles. He can tax the crap out of Alfa Romeo, make all this stuff even more unpopular. He can go tax every vehicle from Maserati. He can go tax the Dodge Hornet. He can go and mess with Ram and go mess with the 2500s, 3500s, where pretty much all the HD trucks. He can go mess with them. He can go mess with the ProMaster, jack the prices up on the ProMaster, piss off Stellantis. He can go over to Jeep and he can go and jack the prices up on the Compass, jack the prices up on the regular Cherokee. So he can go do those two vehicles. What else? He can go over to Chrysler, jack the prices up on the minivan, right? Since they still make the Pacifica over in Canada. He can go and jack the prices up on the Charter Daytona EV. He can go jack the prices up on the new Jeep Recon is coming. He can go jack the prices up on the what's the other vehicle from Chrysler's coming? The I'm pretty sure they still can call the Airflow. So he can go jack the price up on the Airflow. He can go jack the price up on the next Durango that's supposed to be coming, because that's what Stellantis said. Well, they didn't officially say, but it was reported that Stellantis was going to move the Durango replacement to Canada. So there's a lot of stuff that Trump can do to make a very big headache for Carlos Tavares. It could be very beneficial to the UAW if they go and congratulate Trump on winning, put their tail between their legs, and go ask this dude for help and help you guys out too. So, but like I said, let me know what you guys think about this. I know it's a very, very sticky subject for people talking about politics. That's why I haven't really brought politics up in really any other videos. But now that, you know, Trump is back and he's already said he's going to do stuff to these companies. He said last year what he's going to do to the companies. And he said just recently at Joe Rogan's podcast that he's going to tariff companies. He's already stopped John Deere from doing nonsense. So really, it's up on UAW President Shawn Fain to go put his tail between his legs and go ask Daddy, hey, come save us. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that Trump being president is going to help the UAW? Do you think he's going to hurt the UAW? Do you think Shawn Fain is going to put his tail between his legs and go ask Daddy to go bail him out? So let me know what you guys think. And until the next time, I'm out.